Well, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about the Joker. There's a few things to cover today. It's tracking for a fantastic opening box office. Like incredible. I would say incredible anyway, especially for the budget that it's had. Not only that, I see it right now, leaked Joker script is apparently outdated, which I think is interesting because this confirms something which we'd heard before, which was the script was being rewritten on set day by day. And, you know, when I heard that, I did say, yeah, it's potentially bad. That's quite worrying. I'm sure you'll all agree. Rewriting the script day by day is not a bit awkward, but never mind. So let's get into it, right? Leaked Joker script is outdated. Director says the fans will be surprised. There are a lot of questions surrounding DC's Batman spin-off movie, focusing on the origin of his greatest foe in Joker. The movie will feature Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, who becomes the clown prince of crime after a series of bad days. These seem to be taking convenient inspirations from The Killing Joke, which it really does. You only have to take a look at him actually doing stand-up to kind of indicate that. But this will be... Oh, and also, he does have a partner in Zazie Beetz, which is, Killing Joke and Red Hood anyway. Red Hood supposedly has a wife and a family and all of that. Now, this will be unlike any other superhero movie or in the genre, as it seems to be a more character study about a man abused by various social systems, rather than a man who falls into a vat of chemicals and becomes a psychotic crime lord. Which a lot of people have an issue with, but I like this approach. I think this is a good approach. So, Todd Phillips spoke about the leaked script. Now, he made it clear that the leaked script has been through numerous changes and that even the fans who read it will be surprised by the movie. Which is interesting that he's even acknowledging the script did actually leak, because whenever leaks happen before, seldom do they acknowledge that it's actually the truth. When the Predator script leaked, no one acknowledged that. And they didn't even change it. Kind of. Yes and no. They're in for a big surprise when they see this movie, Phillips explained in an interview with the Associated Press. Phillips explained that Joker is far from a comic book movie, reinforcing the idea that everyone involved with the production is hoping to make something new that could expand beyond what everyone thinks the genre should be. And I think that's why... That's why a lot of the Marvel movies are a success, because they are comic book movies, but they take on different genres within that genre. So, you've got a heist movie, you've got a western movie, you've got, see what I mean? You've got love stories, assassin stories, and that's what keeps the genre alive, I think. Anyway. So he says specifically, what we're trying to do with this film is do something entirely different from the comic book movies that have come before. And not because those aren't cool, but just because we want to try something different. But this won't be the last Joker movie ever made. Something tells me that in 10 years, someone else is going to do something. There have been 5 iterations of this character already, and they're all brilliantly unique. This is one more group's interpretation of a character that can be infinitely interpreted. Which is fair, completely true. There are questions of whether or not this movie could have spawned a sequel, or whether or not Phoenix would go on to star alongside Robert Pattinson in a future Batman movie. At this point, both options seem possible, but the results won't come clear until Joker premieres in theatres. And that's true. Todd Phillips has said he would come back if Joaquin Phoenix would come back, and the movie does well. So, there are some comments looking like there could be a sequel, for sure. Now, I thought this one was interesting, because I think this potentially confirms all of this. This was from Slash Film ages ago, in January. Entire Joker script was continuously rewritten during filming. And like I said, when I heard this, I thought this is terrible. But I stand corrected, because it's looking like this film's going to be really good. And I'm freely ready to admit if I'm wrong. When it comes to making movies, it's common for certain scenes to be rewritten during filming. Sometimes, films will even start shooting without a finished script, which is true. But it looks like Todd Phillips' Joker script took things to the next level, with the entire film being rewritten during filming, which is not often the case. Is this for the best, or a sign that the film could possibly be in trouble? Now, we still don't know a lot about the story, blah, blah, blah. And it was Zazie Beetz, actually, that said this in an interview with MTV. She said specifically, the script was great. We rewrote the whole thing while we were shooting it. Literally. We would go into Todd's trailer and write the scene for the night and then do it. During hair and makeup, we'd memorize those lines and then go and do them. And then we'd reshoot that 3 weeks later. Crazy. But again, it doesn't seem to have harmed the film. And the other slight news on this is just that it's tracking for $100 million opening weekend domestically. That's massive. That is just ginormous. For a movie which probably... I can't remember the budget for this. I mean, you're looking at, I would imagine, 60, 70 million, if that. I'll have to find the budget specifically, but I don't think it's that much. So it looks like Warner Brothers' latest comic book movie might end up making quite a splash at the box office. As first reactions to the movie began surfacing, Box Office Pro updated the opening weekend range for the film to 70 to 95 million. On the low end of the range, Joker would still edge out recent releases like Shazam and Aquaman. Should it make upwards of 95 million or even more in its opening weekend, it is going to be near the top 5 DC comic films ever released. Who'd have thought that? I don't think Warner Brothers realised that either. Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman currently sits in the 6th slot with a massive 103 million opening weekend haul, while Man of Steel is the coveted 5th spot at 116.6 million. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Comicbook.com's Brandon Davies called the movie an insane masterpiece in his full review, applauding Joaquin Phoenix's job in the titular role. That's the thing, all the reviews have come out now. People are loving it. Insane. So just as an excerpt from his specific interview, he said, Joker is loaded with mystery on top of its numerous twists. By the time it ends, viewers will be left with several questions about the experience, some of which might be scarily directed at themselves. Phoenix's Arthur laughs his way through terrible scenarios. For this, the actor demands an Oscar nomination. It might not be the only nod this DC Comics movie earns. The cinematography, score, and direction create something unlike anything before it, and it's terrifying, thrilling, and moving. Everywhere. The movie's debut at the Venice Film Festival resulted in an 8-minute standing ovation. Overkill, but my God, if it deserved it, great. Why can't you do a genre comic book film like that? Todd Phillips said of his R-rated character study. We thought this could be an exciting approach to this genre. I'm not sure what it means for DC or Marvel. It was a hard movie for us to get made, to convince DC and the studio at first, but we thought we would keep pushing because we thought it would be special. So he firmly believes in it. And Todd Phillips is genuinely a comedic director. So it's interesting to hear that this is kind of, it's going to be lauded as probably his best work, I'd imagine. And interestingly, the movie is actually receiving rave reviews from critics, debuting with an 85% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes as of writing this particular report. The film has been bumped up to an 88% rating on the review aggregating website, which is big for DC because Rotten Tomatoes traditionally doesn't like DC movies. That's generally the case. There you go. There's a brief update, I guess, on the Joker movie. The leaked script is completely outdated, which I think confirms this, which sounds like it's not done any harm to the film at all. I think that sounds great. The box office tracking suggests an absolute monumental beast of a film, especially as we just start to close the summer blockbuster season. I think this will round that out nicely. And personally, I'm really looking forward to it. But I hand the question over to you. What do you think about all of this? The leaked script outdated, the Joker script being rewritten day by day, and it tracking for 100 million or thereabouts opening weekend domestic. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Also, I will leave a link to my Teespring down below in the description box or linked underneath the video, but you can actually see some Joker inspired merch, so go and check it out if you want. They're specially designed for me, for you guys, so please do go and check it out. If you want to support the channel just that little bit further, I have Patreon linked down below in the description box as well. But as always, guys, I have been Mr. H. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.